Imagine a world gasping for breath, economies staggering under unforeseen burdens, and societies fracturing under the strain of an invisible enemy. This isn't a scene from a dystopian novel. It's a stark reality revisited throughout human history during pandemics. From the Spanish flu to the notorious COVID-19, humanity has faced invisible enemies that have reshaped civilizations. Now, as whispers of a new threat named H5N1 begin to circulate, the lessons from our past pandemics are more crucial than ever. This essay delves into the grim history of pandemics, the arrival of H5N1, and why, despite centuries of experience, we remain vulnerable to these microbial threats. The sweep of infectious diseases across history has often been brutal and transformative. The Spanish flu of 1918, one of the deadliest pandemics, claimed approximately 50 million lives worldwide. The rapid spread and high mortality rate exposed severe weaknesses in public health responses of the time. Subsequent pandemics, including the Asian flu in 1957, the Hong Kong flu in 1968, and more recently, the H1N1 pandemic in 2009, have each highlighted different facets of our vulnerability to viral threats. Each outbreak provoked advancements in epidemiology and virus control, yet each time, the initial response was marred by unpreparedness. The COVID-19 pandemic has been the most recent litmus test for global health systems, exposing once again the critical gaps in our defenses against novel pathogens. Comparing these events helps underscore the cyclical nature of pandemics and the perennial challenge they pose. History shows that human memory is short-lived, especially when it comes to the invisible threats of disease. After the acute phase of a pandemic wanes, so too does the urgency of preparedness. This cycle of panic and neglect has been evident in the aftermath of every major outbreak. For instance, the intense initial response to H1N1 gradually gave way to complacency, leading to sluggish adjustments when COVID-19 emerged. This pattern suggests a systemic issue in maintaining sustained vigilance and investment in health infrastructure outside of crisis periods. H5N1, also known as avian influenza, is not a newcomer to the virology scene. Initially identified in birds, it has shown sporadic but deadly ability to infect humans. The virus is highly pathogenic, and its jump from avian to human hosts is particularly concerning due to the high mortality rates observed in these cases. As of now, human-to-human transmission has been limited, but virologists warn that the virus is only a few mutations away from potentially becoming a pandemic strain. Understanding its mechanisms and monitoring its evolution is crucial. While COVID-19 spread with alarming speed across the globe, its mortality rate is significantly lower than that of H5N1 in confirmed cases. However, the true terror of H5N1 lies in its potential for mutation, which could amplify its transmissibility among humans. The global health infrastructure, already strained by the recent pandemic, faces severe challenges if H5N1 evolves to spread more readily between people. The comparison is stark and serves as a warning that H5N1 could surpass COVID-19 in terms of global health impact. The virology of H5N1 is complex. The virus's structure enables it to bind to cells in the respiratory tract of birds, and occasionally humans, leading to severe respiratory symptoms. Research is ongoing to understand how the virus could mutate to become more contagious among humans, which is the principal concern for epidemiologists. Current efforts are focused on tracking the virus's mutations and predicting potential changes that could pose higher risks to humans. This research is vital for developing effective strategies to combat a possible pandemic. The global response to emerging infectious threats has been a mixed bag. While international health regulations and organizations like the WHO have frameworks in place for pandemic response, the actual execution often falls short. The recent COVID-19 pandemic highlighted the critical need for more robust international cooperation and faster response times. The lessons learned must be applied urgently to address threats like H5N1. The media plays a pivotal role in shaping public perceptions and actions during health crises. Effective communication can lead to informed public adherence to health advisories, whereas misinformation can cause panic and disregard for necessary precautions. During the COVID-19 pandemic, we saw both the benefits and pitfalls of pandemic-related media coverage. For H5N1, ensuring accurate and timely information will be crucial for managing public response. Pandemics can cripple economies, as seen with the significant global recession triggered by COVID-19. The economic impact of a potential H5N1 pandemic could be even more devastating, considering the higher mortality rates and possible stricter containment measures. Understanding the economic stakes underscores the importance of investing in preventive measures and robust health systems to mitigate the broader impacts of pandemics. Pandemics dramatically alter social dynamics. They can lead to increased xenophobia, inequality, and social isolation, while also fostering a sense of community and collective effort in face of common threats. Looking back at historical pandemics and observing recent developments during COVID-19 can offer valuable insights into managing social effects during future outbreaks like H5N1. The adage "prevention is better than cure" holds particularly true for pandemics. Early detection systems, widespread health literacy, and prompt international cooperation can drastically reduce the impact of an outbreak. Examples from past pandemics show that early and decisive interventions can save millions of lives. For H5N1, the world needs to be preemptive rather than reactive. Developing a vaccine for H5N1 is a top priority. Current vaccine research is promising but faces challenges such as virus mutation and distribution logistics. Antiviral treatments are also in development, aiming to provide immediate relief for those infected. The rapid development of COVID-19 vaccines shows that, with sufficient resources and global cooperation, effective vaccines can be developed quickly. Effective pandemic management requires proactive government policies. This includes funding for research, public health preparedness, and international collaboration. Policies must be guided by scientific evidence and geared towards long-term sustainability rather than short-term fixes. For H5N1, governments around the world need to establish policies that not only address the immediate threat but also strengthen general health systems. Individual actions play a crucial role in controlling the spread of viruses. Basic hygiene practices, adherence to public health guidelines, and participation in vaccination programs are essential. Public education campaigns should emphasize the importance of these practices, especially in the face of a potential H5N1 pandemic, to foster a well-informed and proactive public. As we stand on the precipice of potentially facing another severe pandemic, the lessons from our past have never been more important. The history of pandemics teaches us about the inevitability of these crises and the recurring theme of human complacency. With the threat of H5N1 looming, it is imperative that we not only remember these lessons, but act on them with urgency and resolve. The time to prepare is now, lest history repeats itself with even graver consequences.